Pride started off as a protest, and it turned into a party.
This is our very first time co-hosting NYC Pride. How are you feeling?
I'm so excited to be here. The parade actually just kicked off, so we're definitely feeling the energy. How do you feel?
I'm feeling amazing. I mean, we saw Governor Kathy Hochul, Mayor Eric Adams. A lot of folks have already made their way. Bubbles are in the air, confetti. It's incredible.
Don't forget, for you at home, the show is actually going to be in English and in Espanol.
Yes.
So don't forget to turn on that closed captioning.
Put those on. Now look, we have an exciting show for you all. We have our entire team who spent the entire month putting together such great stories that highlight the thriving LGBTQ plus community that's right here in New York City.
Yep, and let's talk about this year's theme. What is it?
Yeah, so the theme is different every year, and this year's theme is Strength in Solidarity.
I love that. En español, pero ustedes en casa, eso es fortaleza en solidaridad. And that message is so important because we definitely have strength in numbers here. Look how many people turned out to celebrate.
I know. It's one of the world's largest Pride celebrations, so of course, why not? So first up, we've got Kiki and Tarso and Sofia Ojero take us through the history in LES.
This is the Close Friend Collective, the 6 historians behind the iconic queer history tour in the Lower East Side.
Our name comes from, it's kind of a cheeky little allusion to the ways that history, public history, but also like formal academic history has erased queer identity in the past. We call ourselves the Close Friends Collective because a lot of queer relationships in the past have been called close friends.
This group of friends and historians were able to work with Henry Street Settlement in order to share queer history with everyone.
Henry Street Settlement is a social services agency and community resource center located on the Lower East Side. Henry Street serves a lot of Lower East Siders, but also serves the 5 boroughs, so 50,000 New Yorkers a year, or close to, participate in Henry Street services.
So we research our tour through a lot of queer history books, many of which that we have bought from our partner Blue Stockings, where we end our tour, but also looking into letters that have been sent. We look at queer love letters and other kind of correspondence.
The 6 historians try to educate and inform people about the 20th century queer history through their own research. The tour told the history of Martin Wong and his art, the Nuyorican Poet Cafe and queer poetry, Sylvia Rivera and Marsha P. Johnson, and the Foundation of Star, which offered housing to LGBTQ youths, Meow Mix, a lesbian bar, and Blue Stockings, New York's only queer-owned and queer-run bookstore.
Learning about this history can give us inspiration and guidance for a path forward in seeking queer liberation and liberation today. Looking back at history can help us look for that path forward.
Unfortunately, it's not just the past we need to worry about. In recent weeks, there have been reports of hateful acts in New York City and around the country.
It terrifies me to see things like in Florida and other states when teachers are getting fired just for being themselves, for talking about their lives, and for not having the ability to create that safe space for kids. We've always been here, and we will continue to be here, and there should not be shame around that.
The group continues to adjust the tour based on new information and findings. The Queer History Walking Tour runs during the warmer months in the Lower East Side, and everyone is welcome.
Wow, what incredible history. Did you know all that?
I definitely did not know you could find all of that right here in LES.
Incredible. Let's talk a little bit about what's behind us though, right? We've got people, the pride flags are waving high. I told you there was confetti earlier, bubbles in the air. All the loudness that you're hearing, that is the pride of New York today.
This march here is for LGBTQ plus youth, of course, cause we can all get behind.
Exactly, and we know we've got grand marshals to talk about, one of which our very own Linda Gaudino had a chance to interview. It's incredible talking about chat, pride in politics, and the Gen Z movement. That's Linda Gaudino coming up.
Let's check it out.
just want to thank you both for chatting with us today. How has Pride overall transformed over the years?
Pride started off as a protest. It started off demanding that we be respected and seen as a community. And it turned into a party, which again, I love a good party. I love a good parade. But sometimes what we didn't realize was in the alleyways, as the parade is passing by, are so many people in the margins who are struggling. It's still within our community to access the basics, from healthcare to employment. So, right now, and I think that we're feeling that Pride is returning to a protest, and we're ready.
Yeah, we're seeing a shift in how people within our community look at history and look at their value within the space, particularly the most marginalized people, our trans brothers and sisters, Black and brown queer people that are reclaiming history as being not just a part of it, but the leaders of it.
Really segues to the next question. There was a new record of anti-LGBTQ bills. I think it was close to 500, actually, like 490 just this year, introduced by U.S. legislatures. And these range, like you had mentioned, banning access to gender-affirming healthcare, banning just drag performances. How does that make you feel, and what else needs to be done?
It's really insulting because these politicians literally play on folks' ignorance about issues. People forget this is the oldest trick in the book, distraction, so that they can go ahead and usher in all this other stuff that they're trying to do. We have more important things to talk about and to worry about.
Yeah, and I think a couple things come to mind. My mom often says, if you want peace, work for justice. We were raised as young people to pledge allegiance to the flag for justice and for all. So we have to remember that when we're in the voting booth, and we have to remember that we should be more concerned with the person that's standing next to us.
I found an interesting study. It said 1 in 5 Gen Z members identify themselves as LGBTQ+. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Listen, I have a lot of thoughts on the fact that people are like, more people are identifying as LGBTQ today than ever before. But we're living in an environment that is allowing people to be more brave. I also want to just point out that, y'all know, so many of us are lying to ourselves every day about who we are. What these younger people are realizing is that no label, gay, straight, cis, or trans, could ever fully define how amazing we are.
A lot of important information there. We definitely got into a lot of issues that are happening, and it's important for us to know today's a celebration, but there is still so much work to be done.
100%. Here's a look at the LGBTQ+ migrants with Sandra Escadion, Telemundo 47, and NBC4 New York's Linda Gaudino. Check it out.
El colectivo intercultural Transgrediendo en Queens, que brinda recursos para la comunidad trans, fue creado como parte del sueño de la activista trans Lorena Borjas de México, quien en vida luchó para proteger a su comunidad. Hoy, Liam Winslet, la directora y cofundadora del colectivo, recuerda el legado de Lorena, quien falleció por complicaciones del COVID-19 en 2020.
Lorena fue una mujer trans latinex, una trabajadora sexual, una mujer que resistió ante el sistema, ante la opresión. Lorena fue esa mentora, esa madre trans de Queens.
Y es que precisamente Lorena, quien llegó a los Estados Unidos en 1981, comenzó una lucha para que la comunidad trans pudiera acceder a recursos como los servicios médicos gratuitos.
Lorena fue esa propulsora en decir, es importante brindar atención de salud a la comunidad trans, no solo hacernos pruebas de VIH, sino también es importante brindar este acceso integral.
Cuéntame qué ofrecen ustedes que hace parte de ese sueño, Lorena.
Tenemos un comedor, hacemos pruebas de VIH aquí gratuitas a la comunidad. De ahí tenemos los grupos de apoyo y tenemos un grupo para personas mayores. De ahí pues distribuimos ropa, entregamos verduras, entregamos despensas de alimentos una vez al mes de manera gratuita para la comunidad.
And Lorena's story is just one of many. 1.3 million adult immigrants in the United States identify as LGBTQ, including Nelson Garcia. In 2015, at the age of 23, Garcia first came to New York City seeking asylum after facing persecution in Venezuela.
Started struggling a lot with discrimination, and this discrimination was not only coming now from peers at my school or my fault, but it was actually the government who was now persecuting me because I was different. Persecuted because my sexual orientation, but also because of my political opinion in Venezuela.
Garcia started at square one, not just overcoming a language barrier, but working any job he could, from construction to hospitality.
Sometimes I was starving, sometimes I didn't have anything to eat, but it was always just think about the fact that you now can be the person that you always wanted to be, that you weren't allowed to be.
At the time, he relied on the Queens community and nonprofits like Immigration Equality for assistance. Now, at the age of 31, he's guiding others through their immigration process. You're a paralegal. You work in DC. Talk to me about your job.
I wanted to do this because I already passed through this, and I know whatever the situation that you're passing right now, this is not going to be the end. This is going to pass. You just have to be patient and resilient, and you will get it.
So this is your first time walking in the New York City Pride Parade. How does that make you feel?
I never imagined to, have the opportunity or to be able to walk on the streets and say out loud, this is who I am. And doing it in a city like New York that actually showed me so much compassion. I'm very, very happy, very excited, and super proud.
Happy Pride Day. Right now I'm joined with Immigration Equality's Executive Director, Aaron Morris. Aaron, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so for folks who don't know, describe what is Immigration Equality?
Immigration Equality is a national nonprofit offering free legal services and political advocacy for LGBTQ and HIV positive individuals. And the idea behind that is that you have a fundamental right to be who you are in the United States. And if you're coming from a nation where that's not safe, we sue the U.S. government to make it happen.
So talk to me a little bit more about some of the resources that you offer for folks.
So at our core, we're a group of lawyers, so it's sort of a two-part thing. One is that we provide free attorneys to indigent immigrants who are suing to stay safe. And that's a beautiful partnership with America's top prestigious firms. And so we offer the expertise and the know-how. They give us a lot of free legal services. And then the second is, because we're representing at any one time about 600 individuals, we see patterns in the system that break down. And that's when our policy department really steps in to advocate for change.
Yeah, and right now, we're at a parade. It's super fun. But as we know, New York City is experiencing an influx of migrants right now, some who identify as LGBTQ.
Yep.
What message those folks and the challenges New York is facing?
Well, I'm somewhat sympathetic to local and state governments asking the federal government for greater assistance, so I'm on board for that. But I also just want to take a step back and remember that one of the reasons why this city is such an amazing city is because of the contributions of immigrants. And so it's both our moral obligation and in our best interest to support those individuals. I know. I love Dykes on Bikes.
Amazing.
Get it, ladies.
Amazing. Now, how can folks get involved?
The easiest way to find us if you need help or if you want to support our work is to go to immigrationequality.org. There's a host of information on there. You can ask for assistance. You can volunteer. There's a lot of things you can do at the website.
Aaron, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today on such a celebration. Up next, we have Kay with Drag Story Hour.
Meet Flame.
I enjoy being the change that I want to see in life.
They're one of many storytellers with Drag Story NYC, a long-standing group that hosts reading events for kids and families all over New York City.
When I was a young queer child, I was made to feel like I was an abomination from so many people who just did not agree with my so-called choices, which was just me being who I was and still am.
Now, as an adult, Flame is on a mission to help others by teaching acceptance and inclusion one book at a time.
We let kids know that it's okay to be yourself if you feel like you might be different.
In the last year, there's been an increase in the number of anti-LGBTQ+ protests targeting story hours across the country. Here in Jackson Heights, Queens, we caught up with one group that's fighting to defend them.
I've been doing LGBT activism for 29 years now.
So we're here at the Elmhurst Library. We're waiting to welcome parents and families as they come to Drag Story Hour. We're here to counter any protesters who show up, who want to spread their hate. You know, if they come, we'll play music, we'll put up umbrellas to sort of block them, just try to create a festive atmosphere for the performers, for the families, etc.
I think a lot of people don't realize that this is happening in their backyard, and I think it's really important, especially for straight people, to come out and help prevent attacks against families and against gay people and drag artists.
All right, so we're about 15 minutes out from the Drag Story Hour, and this is what it looks and sounds like.
Every time we come out here, it makes a difference, because if we weren't here, it would just be awful. Like, these folks would just be harassing people, and there would be no one countering their message.
conmemora la lucha de los derechos civiles, al igual que celebra todos los triunfos de la comunidad LGBTQ+. ¿Pero por qué toma lugar en junio? Bueno, la historia comienza aquí en la ciudad de Nueva York, específicamente en el bar a mis espaldas, el Stonewall Inn.
El mes del orgullo se celebra actualmente cada año en junio para conmemorar las protestas que tuvieron lugar en el Stonewall Inn en 1969. Estas protestas fueron un punto de inflexión para lo que se conoce como el movimiento de liberación gay en los Estados Unidos. En 1969, el Stonewall Inn era uno de los bares gay más populares en la ciudad de Nueva York. Pero, en ese entonces, ser gay todavía se consideraba un delito, y por lo tanto, muchos de estos bares operaban sin licencia de licor. En la madrugada del sábado, 28 de junio de ese año, agentes vestidos de civil del Departamento de Policía de la ciudad de Nueva York llegaron al Stonewall Inn. La policía justificó la redada con una orden de cateo, autorizándolos a investigar la venta ilegal de alcohol en Stonewall Inn. Aquellos con identificación fueron liberados lentamente entre la multitud reunida afuera, mientras que otros permanecieron dentro del bar, arrestados. Los empleados, drag queens y personas transgénero eran los infractores de la ley más visibles y por lo tanto los más vulnerables al arresto. Una de esas personas fue la legendaria activista transgénero con raíces puertorriqueñas y venezolanas, Silvia Rivera. Durante los eventos del Stonewall Inn, Rivera se resistió al arresto y posteriormente dirigió una serie de protestas contra el allanamiento. La noticia de lo que estaba ocurriendo se extendió rápidamente por toda la ciudad. Horas más tarde, esa misma noche, miles de manifestantes se habían reunido alrededor del bar. Las protestas continuaron durante varios días hasta que se produjo otro estallido de intensos combates el miércoles siguiente. La lucha por los derechos LGBTQ+ continuó durante las protestas de Stonewall Inn y más allá, con el primer desfile del orgullo gay llevándose a cabo en 1970, en lo que era el primer aniversario de los disturbios de Stonewall Inn. A lo largo de los años, Stonewall Inn ha sido designado un monumento nacional histórico y la lucha de los derechos civiles para la comunidad LGBTQ+ estará para siempre entrelazada con la historia de la Gran Manzana. Reportando para Telemundo 47, les informa Jennifer Vázquez.
Okay, we're here, we're back. We have Billy Porter behind us. Who are we with?
Felix.
Felix, where are you from, Felix?
The Bronx.
The Bronx, Boogie Down Bronx. What about you?
Alexander.
Where are you coming from?
Geneva.
Oh my God, how long are you here?
Jusqu'à après-demain.
And what about you? Where are you from? What's your name? I'm Emily and I'm from Connecticut. Oh, let's go Connecticut. I used to live in Connecticut. Love it. And what brings you out here today to today's march?
I allow myself to come down today because Telemundo is showing the world the beauty of New York City and the pride.
Así es. And where are you from? What's your nationality? Because we talked about it before.
I'm Puerto Rican.
Shout out Puerto Rico. And what about you? What brings you all here today?
En español, en español.
En español. ¿Qué te trae acá hoy? Cuéntanos.
Me gusta mucho esta fiesta porque es una comunidad el más feliz del mundo.
Así es, 100%. ¿Y cuánto tiempo vas a estar acá con nosotros disfrutando de esta fiesta?
Normalmente lo vamos el miércoles.
¿El miércoles?
Sí, sí.
Okay. ¿Y vinieron para acá solo para esto?
Sí, ellos por otra cosa también.
Ok, pero tuvieron que parar por acá, ¿cierto? ¿Y usted qué la trae acá? ¿Por qué está acá con nosotros hoy? Para celebrar a las personas que están aquí. Is this your first time here? How long have you been coming to this parade?
This is my first time. I'm here with my sister who came out, and I just want to celebrate her and us.
Oh, shout out to her. What's your sister's name?
Her name's Nicole.
Okay. And where do you guys come from? What's your nationality? What's your background?
My father is from Guatemala and my mother is from Honduras.
Okay, so we have a lot of Latino representation here at Pride. Thank you. And what are you most excited about seeing here today?
The people come together and enjoy a good day for one day, which is beautiful.
100%. And for a while there, we didn't have these people gathering during the pandemic, right? So how does it feel to just be back? ¿Cómo se siente estar acá otra vez con las personas?
No entiendo porque hay mucho ruido.
No te preocupes. ¿Cómo se siente estar acá hoy con las personas después de la pandemia?
Muy feliz, muy feliz.
¿Y con quién estás acá hoy?
No encuentro porque hay mucha...
¿Con quién estás acá hoy?
Con mi mujer y con toda la gente que quiero.
And what about you? What are you most excited about seeing here today?
I'm just like seeing the community come together as one and celebrate everything.
¿Y qué causas te importa? What causes are you very passionate about?
Estoy muy presente por la inmigración, yo no sé cómo decirlo.
Immigration, of course, you're doing great.
Y que también las personas que son aquí, de los homosexuales, todas las personas, yo solo quiero ser aquí para esto.
Thank you. Perfect, guys. Thank you so much for being here tonight. And up next, we have independent magazine Lady Gun, Killing the Game. Check it out. Gracias, guys. Thank you. Okay, thank you, guys. Thank you. You guys are good.
My name is Mateo Palacio.
And I'm Phil Gomez. And you're with Lady Gun.
Lady Gun magazine has shot covers for Doja Cat, Paris Hilton, Thalia, Becky G, Lotto, Nelly Furtado, and more.
We're an independent funded magazine and we are striving to create content that's beautiful for a whole new generation of creators and just encompassing a whole new era of fashion.
Lady Gun functions differently from a lot of the household magazines that you know of in that they don't have any investors or major publishers funding the work that they do.
What we're doing is we are working with people that we appreciate, that we are inspired by, that we want to collaborate with, and then we create together.
While challenging at times, there is one perk to not being owned by a major publisher, and that is that the team has full creative freedom.
So we are able to sit down, have a conversation and says, this is what your brand is missing. This is how we can join forces and create content that is for a new generation. I think our magazine is kind of like Teen Vogue's alternative cool stepsister.
Our founder, she's a beautiful Nigerian woman. We have queer, we have trans, we have all these voices that have not had a place all in one platform. So that makes Lady Gun special. You know, the fact that our team is very diverse in comparison to other media conglomerates. Like somehow we've created a Lady Gun lifestyle without even knowing that we were creating a lifestyle.
We're there to collaborate. We're there to say, what do you need and how can we make that work? Seeing artists and the people we work with as canvases where we join those creatives rather than kind of imposing what all these other publications can do, which is fine in their own realm, but I think that unique creative aspect will always exist.
Right. And our team has always been POC forward, queer forward. You know, anything that it has been marginalized, we will amplify that.
Having a small and diverse team has allowed the magazine to create intimate moments with every person they've had the opportunity to shoot. I asked the team how they create the magic, and this is what they said.
Why don't we just come and show you? So ready?
Ready.
Let's go.
So why don't you try this on? I don't know. What do you think? Turn around? I think we could do better. Yeah, let's try something else. And we'll try this on. Yes, look at her. Because when you read one of our stories, we're literally just peeking with someone. We're just like talking to them. We're putting a shoot together. We're learning about each other. And that's really what allows us and gives us that difference. Like people are able to be vulnerable while creating. Happy Pride!
So much fun. Listen, Lady Gun is a small magazine, only a team of 4, but they make you feel like a superstar.
I love it.
I can't even tell you.
Watch out.
They
Those
should.
shoes you had on?
Girl, I was about to run away with the whole entire outfit. You know, they stopped me at the door, but I would have. I would have made it out.
I believe it. You're always so fly. And I had so much fun too. Even
tell me.
Queens.
Yeah, so you were in Jackson Heights, right? For Drag Story Hour.
Taxi Drag Story Hour. I mean, it's just been such an incredible month and a great day. We saw Billy freaking Porter.
Just now.
They're handing out fans.
Right.
Just passed me one.
Fabulous.
It's
like
amazing.
10 seconds ago, he was just here. There's still a crowd picking up and so much more to see.
Yes, and speaking of so much more to see, you can definitely check out all the stories you watched today on NBCNewYork.com if you want to learn more.
100%. Y telemundo47.com. No se les olviden, vamos a tener versiones más largas de estas historias para ustedes en casa.
And listen, y'all, it is Pride Day, and we are celebrating at the march, but we all know Pride goes all year long. So be sure to check out those links throughout the year. So get ready, Discon. That's the best way to end the show.
Yes, 100%.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you guys. You had so much fun. Nos vemos.